Live from the 2023 Women's Leadership Summit presented by the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, it's time for North Fulton Business Radio. Now here's your host.
And hello again, everyone. We are broadcasting live from the 2023 Women's Leadership Summit, sponsored by the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Wow, it's been a great day so far, and we've got a lot more to come. And I'm joined by one of our keynoters today, our keynote speakers. Jennifer Gore-Cuthbert is with us, and she is with Atlanta Personal Injury Law Group. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm delighted to have you here. Before we get to your keynote speech and what you're going to be talking about today, let's talk about your firm. How are you serving folks out there?
So I own Atlanta Personal Injury Law Group. I'm a lawyer. We serve Georgia and specifically the Atlanta Metro. We help people who've been injured in any type of auto accident, trucking accident, motorcycle accident, dog bite, and slip and fall accidents. And I started the firm after I was in my own accident many years ago.
Wow.
We're very client focused, and we love helping people navigate some of the most difficult times of their life.
Yeah. So you know firsthand what injury victims go through.
I unfortunately do.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. And what do the thing about your practice, personal injury, is there a lot of advertisements out there, right? You see them all the time. What do people need to look for in a personal injury attorney?
Well, it's funny you talk about the advertisements, because I just recently saw a study that even as much as we advertise, if you were to survey the people of Georgia, only about 1 in 20 can identify a personal injury firm.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
Just goes to show how distracted people are out there, and we have to cut through the noise.
That's why you're here at events like this, as opposed to popping your name on a billboard, I suppose.
Well,
right?
we are on a couple billboards.
Okay, you have to be, right?
But I think marketing needs to be in many different things. You asked what people need to know about a great law firm.
Right.
I think that, looking at a law firm's online reputation, Google reviews, getting personal referrals from people who've worked with that firm. When you call a law firm, they should never make you any guarantees. If a law firm makes you a guarantee, that's a major red flag.
Right.
And looking for a firm that is client-centric and customer service-oriented, because at the end of the day, the biggest issue for law firms is lack of communication.
Yeah, and not calling people back, I guess.
Yeah, because this is the reality. If you have a legal issue, it's at the top of your mind.
Right.
And if you don't hear back from your law firm for weeks or months, it kind of grows your anxiety because you're wondering, is it bad news? Is it good news? And so sometimes we call our clients to say, listen, there is no update, but that's the update.
Right.
And I think that goes a long way for people.
Yeah.
Because it kind of says, okay, I can sit tight on this issue for another 30 days.
Well, they know you're on the case.
You're doing something.
Pardon the pun, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they know you're on the case.
And when I had to hire my own lawyer, I remember feeling like I wasn't a priority and that my case was just a number. And we never want our clients to feel that way, because to them, this is probably one of the biggest stress points in their life. And as a lawyer, you can kind of get numb to that. It's like, oh, another case.
Yeah, for sure. So you're here you're one of the keynoters today, one of 3 keynoters for this event. What's your topic?
My topic is women can do it all, but should they?
Say more about that.
I know, it's a juicy topic.
I think people are going to lean into that.
I'm sharing my experience scaling my law firm from me by myself to 43 people.
Wow.
And what it has required of me. And I think, for a lot of women, there's a feeling that you need to do it all. You need to be the superwoman. I think that kind of is an issue you see more with women.
Yep.
And my personal experience, what I've experienced is you have to be more strategic with your time as a business owner and you need to decide what you're not going to do to really scale a company. And that often requires hiring, delegating, training other people up, letting go of a lot of the domestic responsibilities at the house.
Yep.
There's a lot of boundaries you have to create. And I think, you don't see the CEOs of major companies doing their own cleaning of their own home.
That's a good point. That's a great point. But what you're talking about are decisions that can be tough, particularly when you're talking about, well, let's just say the decision to scale, right? Just that decision alone creates a lot of other decision points that you'll be confronted by, right?
For me, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I've always wanted to scale. I looked up to other law firms that were bigger, and I thought they have better problems than I have by myself. Because when you are a solo or somebody that just is a firm of one, all the weight of that firm is on your shoulders, and it creates burnout.
Yeah.
I imagine any other type of business where you have to do everything. The business stops when you go on vacation. So it kind of puts you in a mindset that I can never take any time off. I can never go to my kids' game or whatever. And so building a more sustainable business requires you to hire professionals and to scale. And that has given me a better quality of life as an entrepreneur and a lawyer. And in fact, I think we have a better service offering because we have many lawyers at my firm now instead of just me. Because you have the power of all these different lawyers coming together working on the cases versus when it was just me. So my experience has been, and my message to so many women out there is businesses are actually easier to run the bigger they are.
Interesting.
And I think that's a myth. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to keep this small so it's easy to run.
Right.
It's much harder to run when you don't have an executive team. I have an executive team that helps me run the company, high-level professionals. A lot of times I feel like the five of us, whatever problem we come into, we can handle it because it's the five of us.
Sure.
It's not just me by myself.
Sure. So what were some of the key decision points that you'll talk about that in your own journey? Yeah.
A lot of my journey has been hiring mentors and coaches. I had hired many business coaches over the years. I started realizing that there was shortcuts that you could take if you could learn from other people. And so being really open to being wrong and wanting to just grow and not getting your ego in the way. I'm completely open to the idea that we're doing everything wrong.
Actually,
to get better.
Yeah, that's because if you're not willing to do that, right, then there's no source of learning along the way.
You're stuck.
Right.
And I think any day that you think you've arrived is a really bad day, because I think back to things I was doing 5 years ago, and I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated. You should see our old social media, our old videos. But that's a sign of growth. If you don't look at what you're doing several years ago and think, oh my gosh, I would not do that now, I think you're not growing.
But that's just part of the journey though, right?
It's part of the journey. It's very intentionally part of the journey. And also, you need to find people that are much further ahead of you. I try to surround myself, some of my mentors have firms that are 5 times bigger than mine. They are thinking about different things. They have different issues. They inspire me. I feel like it's possible because I spend time with them. If you're spending time with all people who are significantly behind you, you'll start to feel like, oh, I know it all.
Right.
But it's better to be around people that are further ahead of you because you're going to be pulled up. So that's one of my key strategies, always finding and developing new mentors, spending money on coaching and development. I mean, I spend a lot of money to get people to coach me. I think people think they're going to get coaches totally for free. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, right. Well, they're an investment. That's
an investment.
That's what you're saying, I think, right?
Wouldn't you say the greatest investment you can make is in yourself?
Yeah.
Pays continually.
Yep.
So there's that. Also, you've got to be able to take risks, and you got to, calculated risks. And you have to be able to delegate and let go of control, but not abdicate, which is a fine balance.
That is a fine balance. Well, that is a lot for people to absorb today. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to hear the whole your speech because I'll be out here interviewing. But that what a great message to bring to this summit, and that is leadership. So
yeah, and we all need to work on becoming better leaders. At every level, there's a new thing to unlock.
Yeah.
So I love that you're focused on the local businesses and spreading the message of entrepreneurship, which is the heart and soul of our country. Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate, Jennifer, you being here today and bringing the message you're bringing. I know you're going to inspire a lot of women that are here, and we appreciate the work you're doing in the community with your firm. Congratulations! And you and I were talking before we came on the air. You're an award winner. You've won a lot of awards here recently for your firm and your growth, and so congratulations on that as well. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure speaking with you today.
Yeah, thank you so much. But before we let you go, let's get to the most important question, hopefully, for people that are listening that may want to be in touch with you and learn more about your firm. How can they do that?
You can call our firm at 1-833-ATL-WINS, or you can email me, Jennifer@ATLinjurylawgroup.com. You can follow us on all the social media platforms. We're always doing something fun and interesting on there.
That's terrific. Jennifer Gore-Cuthbert, folks, the Atlanta Personal Injury Law Group. Jennifer, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, John.